welcome to Motivated and Inspired. My name is Mimi Faith. You are welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you go through my content, and if this is the content you like on fitness, personal growth, motivational experiences, then you need to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to turn the notification button on. Okay, now if you have done that or not, let's go straight into this information. Pareja de Hecho. What is Pareja de Hecho? I'm going to explain what it is to you, qualification you need, how to apply, and then I will share my experience with you on how I got registered with my partner as Pareja de Hecho. Now, stay tuned. Pareja de Hecho in English is just domestic partnership or domestic partners or civil union. This is recognized across most European countries and even countries out of Europe, but most countries do not recognize it legally. However, lucky for most of us and in most situations in Spain, it is recognized as a union. Now, what do you need to register you and your partner as Pareja de Hecho or civil partners? In Spain, you need to live together 2 years uninterruptedly, or you need to have a common child between you, or you can formalize this through a notary before you register yourself in the civil registry. Now, let's break it down to rights that you have as a civil partner or as a domestic partner. In Spain, the laws are different in each community or in each region. So the requirements and the right or benefit to someone living in Catalonia might be totally different from someone living in Valencia or in País de Basco. So bear that in mind. However, there are certain common rights and common requirements that is being required for across the whole country. Now in Catalonia, touch wood. But should any of the partners dies, the living partner gains the widow or widower pension payments. You can also adopt, or you have the right to adopt a child just like married couples would do. In some communities, civil partners also do enjoy the inheritance and domestic tax allowance just like married people would do. And then you also have right to agree on economic regime that both of you chooses on a very legal level. So these are the rights that you have as a civil partner. Now let's go straight to the requirements that you need to meet to be registered or recognized legally as a domestic partner or as a civil partner or Pareja de Hecho. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, this is very different in every region. It has got to do with the region you're living in. However, this particular requirements are very common in some places. So you might meet all of this plus or not. One of them will be exempted out, or two of them will be exempted out. So number one of the partners has to be European Union citizen, not European citizen. There's a difference between European citizen and European Union citizen, because not all the countries in Europe are members of the European Union, and this rule is being governed by the European Union. So you have to make sure that your partner is coming from a country or is a citizen of European Union. And number two, both of you have to be registered in the same address. Both of you have to be registered in the same address. In most cases, they ask for 2 years. In some regions, they don't ask for any minimum amount of time you've been living together. What they ask for is that you both are registered in the same address. But to be on the safer note, you could do it after 6 months of registering yourself, if you are not in a rush. But if you're in a rush, you can apply immediately. You are registered, you both are registered in the same address plus other requirements. Now, both of you has to be adults. You must be more than 18 years. You can't do this if you are lesser than 18 years or you are not considered by the law as an adult. You also need to be legally single. It means that you can't be in any form of legal relationship with any other person at the time you want to apply for domestic partner with somebody else. So if you have been married before, you have to be divorced. You don't have to have any tie with anyone. You must be a free bird. You must be just free bird, ready to mingle. And that mingling partner is your partner, the partner you want to do that domestic partnership with. Aside that, both of you need your identification documents, which could be your NIE, his DNI or passport. So that brings us to me sharing my experience with you guys. So I lived in Barcelona, and I live 25 minutes away by train from Barcelona city. Okay, so I lived in Santa Coloma, and Santa Coloma is more or less an independent city, even though our province is Barcelona. So I went to the notary in Santa Coloma with my partner to register ourselves as Pareja de Hecho or as domestic partners. And guess what? I was asked to bring, among the document that I just mentioned to you, I was asked to bring a marital civil status from my country, which means that I need to order this document, or I need to go back to Ghana and make sure that this document is done. It must also be legalized. Go to the Spanish embassy, make them legalize that document, or go to the foreign ministry in Spain, make them legalize that document before I apply to this with other documents. And then again, they also ask for my birth certificate, which needs to also be legalized. So in all cases, I need to order or go to Ghana and get those documents. And I didn't want to do that at that time. I wanted something that is very quick and easy for me to get my residence, right? So I went to another notary in the same town, and they told me the same thing. The requirements were still the same. All that I have mentioned, plus a marital civil status. And that's going to be a long way. Then plus my birth certificate and getting his documents is very easy because he's Spanish. It's super easy for them to get their document. However, it would take my documents to arrive here like 1 to 2 months because I have to order in Ghana, and you know how it is if you're a Ghanaian, you know how all this goes. So I was like, no, I didn't want that. Then this is what you should be doing when you are in Spain or you are in a foreign country. You must make sure that you are part of an expert group. You must make sure that you have friends whom you can ask. Fortunately for me, I was discussing it with my best friend, and she said, oh, one girl from the expert group just shared with me that she was able to do this in one office in Barcelona city, in Passeig de Gracia. So I have to go there. So I went there with my passport, contract of our home, which was solely in my name, and I will explain to you how advantageous that was. And then I went there with my identification card, which was expired because I was looking for a way forward to renovate my residence before then, but I wasn't able to do it. So at the time that I was able to do this, got the right information to get to this point, it has expired. And I went there also with Padron. Padron is your registered address in Spanish. So I went there with my partner, and it was just a matter of call. I didn't even have to book appointment. I just called and said I wanted to do this, and they told me, okay, I can come in the evening. They scheduled time with me. I went there, I met the notary. It was kind of an interview, more or less an interview, like because she needs to verify if really we are legit and not just doing it for my residence. What helped me was that I was living in the address that we were both registered in before I met my partner. So I had lived there about 2 years before we met, and he was registered in that address. Okay, so she looked at me and she said, wow, in most cases it's the other way around. It is the European Union citizen who has the house or who has the contract. So I am sort of like depending, like the immigrants or the expat always looks like they are depending on the EU citizen. But in my case, it was the other way around. The contract was only in my name, and he was living there with me. So it was like easy peasy. She registered us that very day, that very moment. I can't remember exactly how much we paid, but it was lesser than 200 euros. So it's between 100 to 200 euros. That's what we paid. Now, after we registered, they will print everything, write everything as a document, and you will sign. And then the photocopies were given to us. Then she processed the documents and then sent it to the civil registry of Catalonia. They register us, and then they send us a certificate, which is in the form of a letter. They send it to us, and boom, we are already registered. So from that point that you've been registered in the notary, you are legal. Okay, then you have to wait for resolution from the civil registry, okay, because they have to tell you that you are registered and you are recognized now as domestic partner by the laws. You will receive a letter in your home from the civil registry with a resolution, and that's it. And from that point, you can use that letter plus other document that will be required for to gain residence as a family member of an AU citizen, which is the major advantage of doing Pareja de Hecho. And this is the more reason why more and more foreigners living in Spain, that's the Pareja de Hecho. Now, if you want more information of how to apply for residence with your partnership status in Barcelona as a family of AU citizen, click on the video on your right very now. It has got all the juicy information that you need to make that experience super easy for you. Now, don't forget to be you. Be bold, be whoever you want to be, say whatever you want to say, as long as you are not hurting anyone. But most of all, be motivated and inspired. See you in the next video.
Stay motivated and inspired.